Hello, people of the world. Tom Brown here. How you doing? I'm going to make another video showing you the last video I made yesterday. Um, I was I was a little distracted by the dogs. I was walking on the outside of the fenced area. We have probably about, I don't know, at least an acre or so here fenced. But I walked out of the gate, and the dogs followed me, and right down the street, right down the road, still on my property but not inside the fenced area, I seen some free range cattle, and there was a couple of them, and my dogs were right behind me following me. And of course the first thing they want to do is start messing with the cows. And so yeah, that was a little bit of an adventure for me, because they both took off. They spooked the cows and they ran like all the way across down the hill through the property, and they disappeared. I couldn't hear them. I stopped recording, and I started following them. Well, following the tracks. I felt like a tracker, like an animal tracker. I was following the dog tracks and the cow tracks in the sand and the soft soil. And finally I got all the way, probably about half mile or more away, and I said, you know what, they're gonna come back to the property, or I'll send the kids out on the bikes and to go kind of drive around the neighborhood and call for them. But anyway, so that took me quite a while. I kind of spur of the moment thing. I wasn't able to record anymore yesterday because I got busy doing other stuff. But sorry about the background noise, by the way. That's my generator, and right now we're relying on the generator for power to keep the refrigerator cold, and mainly during the day the refrigerator cold, because we don't really have anything else going on. You know, make coffee and whatever. But so I'm going to show you. I walked through yesterday and kind of showed you where I was going to put the big 2,500 gallon above ground tank, and I showed you where the cistern tank was sitting. So here we go. Here is the above ground tank, and right now I've got the valves and everything in there. So this is where the water will come out for the house, right here. And I put in this union right here, so when I have to move this stuff around later, when I get the actual shed that all the equipment's going in, I can just take it off right here without having to cut anything, or without having to redo any of the piping. So it just comes apart. I actually just got done doing that, so it's a good thing I pulled that apart, because it was still sticky. Sorry about that. People need two hands to do that kind of thing. It's hard to hold the phone and do that. But anyway, I got a union here, right, that I can just unscrew and take this piece of pipe out. And then I have a shut-off valve, which was going to come in handy right now, because I'm getting ready to fill this big tank with the water from the other in-ground cistern tank that I'm getting ready. I can't move it with the machine because it's way too heavy with all the water in it. So I've got it temporarily set up. I've got the 1-inch poly pipe running from up there, from the actual electric sump pump that's sitting in the tank up there. I'll show you that. And it's going through this filter. And I didn't want to cut any of the poly line, because I'm going to be needing this later for other stuff. So I left a big spool of it back there, but it comes around, connects up into the top of the tank, because it'll drain into the top of the tank. And my pressure pump that feeds water pressure into the house, it needs to be primed. That's why I'm filling it from the top and taking the water out from the bottom. So as long as this tank always has water in it, the pressure pump that I'm going to install will always be primed, because it'll work off, there'll be positive water pressure. So I'm getting ready to, I just got done connecting these pipes for the water, so I can drain the cistern tank into this tank. But I also, you can see here, I got a union here too, so it'll be easy to take apart, because I'm actually going to have two of these big tanks over here in this area. I haven't even gotten the one yet from the store, but they got plenty of them down at Home Depot. I think they got like 30 or 40 of them, taking up the whole parking lot. But it's going to sit right there where this dilapidated shed's at, and it'll actually sit a little bit like a foot above this one, because what's going to happen is the water from the in-ground cistern tank that's up by the wellhead, the well pump at the bottom of the well will come up to the top of the wellhead. It'll go like 2 or 3 feet, and it'll feed the in-ground cistern tank that's going to be buried in the ground up there. And then there's not enough drop in elevation here to do any sort of gravity fed water supply into these bigger tanks. So my solution for that is I put in a sump pump that will work off a float. So, and I can I'll wire it up to where I can have it on a timer or a switch, so I can just operate it whenever I want to, or it can operate independent of me. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that with the floats and stuff. But so I have 3 pumps. I have one pump in the bottom of the well, 200 and whatever it is, 230 feet down from the ground level in the well. Pumps in, and that's solar operated by this solar right here. And then I have it pumps into the in-ground cistern tank, and that's all the farther it pumps to is that cistern tank. So it doesn't have to go very far, it doesn't have to work very hard. Then I'll have a regular 10 amp 3/4 horse pump in the cistern tank up there, which will work off a float. And once the water level gets so high, it'll automatically kick on and suck the water out of the cistern tank and pump it down up the up in the air and into the top of the second tank that'll be sitting right here. And then once that tank fills up, this one will work off of gravity. So what it'll do, the tank here that's not here yet will be a foot higher than this tank, and it'll just slope down. So once that tank is full, it'll slope down and it'll fill this tank up. And this tank here is going to have a sensor from the well controller right there that tells it when it's all the way full. So there's going to be a sensor inside this tank that's wired into the well pump that'll say, okay, we don't need no more water, stop pumping, we're at capacity. So this tank will always be full from the water trickling in from the raised tank sitting next to it, from the water being pumped in from the in-ground tank up by the wellhead. So I'm going to have plenty of water storage, lots of pressure, and other than just pumping the cistern tank down, I'll walk you up there real quick, and apologize for the generator noise. But so other than the pump that is going to be wired into this tank over here, everything else will be operated off solar. But this pump won't run for very long. It'll only run for a few minutes. I'm about ready to kick it on here in a second, and I'll show you exactly how fast it'll pump this down. So if you can see that, there's the water level inside the cistern tank. It's going to go right there in the ground. These pipes are just temporary. I wanted to keep I wanted to keep the well working during this project so I can continue to get water out of the well, because I have to let the well rest to replenish itself. I can't just fill up 10,000 gallons of water in a continuous fashion by pumping the well. The well only produces so much water, which is why I have so much water storage. Is so once I get to the point where all my tanks are full, then the amount of water that the well produces will be enough to supply our daily needs. So we'll always have a supply of extra water. And in the case where, you know, it takes the well a little while longer, we use more water one day than we did the next day, it'll equal itself out. So this 3/4 inch line right here is coming in from the well head right here. So this is where it comes up out of the well. 3/4 pipe fills this tank, and then this 1 inch pipe right here, it goes down through that filter that I showed you and will fill the tank right there. And I'm actually going to get ready to, I've been needing to do this so I can take the water out of that storage tank, and that way I can lift it with the machine. I can't lift it the way it is right now, it's too dang heavy. So I wasn't very productive today because the gas people showed up and walked the site with me. Real nice guy, but we talked for a while, so I'm kind of lagged today. But here we go. This let me show you. This extension cord right here is plugged into the generator. This cord right here is this one goes to the motor. This one goes to the float. So once the float drops on the pump, it'll know that the water's gone and it'll automatically shut off. So I'm gonna plug it in. Okay, plugged in, it's pumping. I'm gonna show you. Try not to drop my phone. So there's the pump right there. I put another union in here just in case I ever need to take this pump out for any reason to work on it, or if it gets jammed up or stuck or whatever, I need to replace it. I can just pull it up with this rope that's attached to it, and if you can see, you can kind of see the float right there. Float. As soon as that float drops, it's going to automatically shut off the power. It won't keep pumping. So right now it is filling the big huge 2,500 gallon tank down there, and as soon as this thing is done pumping down, I am gonna lift this up with my straps with my machine. Well, I'm gonna dig the hole first, then I'm gonna lift it up with my with that guy and put it in the ground here, level it out, and then I'll do the final connections. I'm just basically gonna redo the same connections that are on there, but they're gonna be shorter, so it's only gonna go from there to there, whatever. So let's go down here. I'll go grab my other ladder and see if it's actually pumping in there. I know it is because I don't see any water squirting out anywhere, any leaks. Oh, and I can hear it. Ooh, that sounds like it's got a lot of water pressure. It's filling in right there. There's my filter. It's not leaking. That's from me putting the actual new filter inside the canister. I had to dump the water out, so that's what that's from. I don't see any leaks. So I'm gonna grab my ladder. Oh yeah, it sounds. Ooh, I gotta make sure that, what is that? Oh, I see. It's a little tether so this thing doesn't fall. Ooh, it's warm in there. Ooh, it's hot in there. That's where I can get all my hot water from. Okay, I'm going to shine it down in there. See if I can see the water coming out. There it is. Filling up the tank. Hello in there! Alright, so, yep. Okay, well, everything's going like I thought. Tomorrow, finally tomorrow, I am driving to Flagstaff with my trailer. I'm going to try to leave early because I think my wife, I think actually the appliances she ordered are going to be ready to pick up tomorrow too. So I'm going to leave early and drive to Flagstaff and pick up all my solar equipment. It's been sitting there waiting for me for 2 weeks. So I'm going to do that, and that way I have everything here on site except for a couple things like the gas. They have to bring the gas out. That's one of the reasons why they came by today, is because they're going to be the ones dropping off the 1,000-gallon tank. But I think I'm gonna do the pad for them, install the underground line, do all the piping by the, oh, looks like we do got a little bit of a leak here. But like I said before, this is just temporary. I got all this extra line here. And I'm just trying to get the water out of that tank over there. But maybe I'll grab my my ratchet and see if I can't cinch that down a little bit, stop the leak. So things are progressing along here slowly every day, you know, something new. The last video I showed, there was still a whole bunch of shrubs and stuff right there where that tank is sitting. That's basically what I did yesterday after I chased down the dogs for an hour. Was I brought the machine over here, I cleared this all out, and then I leveled it with dirt from this pile here. So that way the tank is nice and level. And so yeah, I mean, everything just takes, you know, everything takes time. You don't just snap your fingers and voila, it's finished. It's not going to get done unless I do it. And so I'm doing what I can. I'm doing everything I can. I've been a little tired the last couple days just because I put in some long days, and you know, I had like 2, almost 3 months off of work, and I'm not really used to working 16 hours a day anymore in this heat. The heat too, that's another thing. You know, it's, you know, technically still for a couple more days, still winter here, but man, it's like yesterday was warm and today's even warmer. I think it might be like 70 degrees today, and I'm slowly getting acclimated to it. When we first arrived here, it was snowing a couple weeks ago, so the weather's changed real fast. I think they just had an unnormal cold spell that came through, but yeah, it's supposed to be like this all week. And you know, this is Arizona, so I imagine it's just going to be getting more and more nicer here as the year progresses. So anyway, I got to get back to it for now, and I'll once I get the water line hooked up to the house and that really sweet pressurized pump hooked up that I got, I'll show you how that works, and hopefully by then I will have this pump here drained down and in the ground, and it won't be a sight, you know, it won't be an ugly thing to sit there and look at every time I drive in the driveway. Got to get back to work for now, guys, and you know, try to get some more progress done today. Have a good day.